Let's start our chapter 11, Respiration and Gas Exchange. Key learning objectives. We are going to understand in energy production in the body, exploring aerobic and anaerobic respiration, investigating gas exchange mechanism, analyzing breathing processes and factors affecting breathing rate. Let's start with breathing basics. Normal breathing patterns. Typical breathing rate is 12 to 22 breaths per minute. Automatic process that continues even during sleep. Moves air into and out of lungs. Provides oxygen transportation to body cells. Sleep apnea insights. Characteristics: disrupted breathing during sleep, intermittent breath holding, potential health complications. Management strategies includes using air pump machines, weight loss, side sleeping, smoking cessations. Breathing mechanics. Inspiration, which means breathing in. The process is diaphragm contracts and lowers, rib cage raises and expands, thorax volume increases, internal pressure drops between atmospheric pressure, air flows into lungs through trachea and bronchi. Next process is expiration, which means breathing out. Here, diaphragm relaxes and returns to dome shape, rib cage drops, thorax volume decreases, air forced out of lungs. Let's talk about muscles involvement. Muscle group. Diaphragm. During inspiration it contracts and during expiration it relaxes. External intercostal. During inspiration it contracts and during expiration it relaxes. Internal intercostal, it is typically relaxed during inspiration and may contract forcefully during expiration. Let's talk about exercise and breathing. Oxygen demand during physical activity. Increased muscle activity requires more oxygen. Breathing becomes deeper and faster. Heart rate increases to transport oxygen efficiently. Now let's talk about anaerobic respiration. Its key characteristics includes it occurs when oxygen supply is insufficient, provides limited additional energy, and creates oxygen depth. Oxygen depth repayment. Now lactic acid broken down into liver, continued elevated breathing and heart rate, restores normal physiological state. Breathing rate control, neurological regulation. Brain monitors blood pH, responds to carbon dioxide and lactic acid levels, sends nerve impulses to adjust breathing muscles, increases breathing rate and depth when pH changes. Some experimental considerations include investigating breathing rate. So experimental variables include independent variable is our physical activity, dependent variable is breathing rate and depth, control other potential influences factors. Recommended measurement techniques use timer, count breath per minute, observe breathing depth, create detailed results table, and then you can also use the graph results. Key terminologies here which you have to keep into your mind is breathing, physical movement of air in and out of lungs, respiration, cellular process of energy production, gas exchange, oxygen and carbon dioxide transfers between air and blood. Alright, now let's talk about respiration and energy in living organism, energy requirements in cells. Cellular energy needs. So key energy uses: muscles contraction, protein synthesis, cells division, active transport, growth, nerve impulse transmission, heat production. Energy sources includes primary energy source glucose, obtained from food digestion, absorption through small intestine, and transported via bloodstream. Now we have aerobic respiration. The definition is energy released by combining glucose with oxygen, occurs primarily in mitochondria, enzyme controlled process. Now its characteristics includes most efficient energy production method, occurs in multiple enzymatic steps, produces significant energy per glucose molecules. Now we have anaerobic respiration. Definition includes energy released without oxygen, less efficient than aerobic respiration, occurs in cells cytoplasm. Variation, yeast anaerobic respiration converts glucose to alcohol and carbon dioxide. So this is the variation, guys. Muscles anaerobic respiration converts glucose to lactic acid, occurs during intense exercise, temporary energy production when oxygen is insufficient. Biology overall is a very detailed subject, hence the notes are prepared in a way that the main points are given on the notes so that you can easily learn them and can produce it into the exams if asked. So learn side by side as you are going through the chapters. First, finish learning of the key concepts, definitions, different processes and factors, and then start your new chapter. Alright, comparative tables we have here, aerobic versus anaerobic respiration. So characteristics, oxygen use, aerobic respiration requires oxygen, and aerobic no oxygen required. Energy efficiency, in aerobic respiration there is high energy efficiency, and in anaerobic respiration there is low energy efficiency. End products, in aerobic respiration we have carbon dioxide and water as an end product, and in anaerobic respiration we have lactic acids and alcohol as the end products. Location of aerobic respiration is in mitochondria, and anaerobic respiration occurs in cytoplasm. Now let's talk about gas exchange in humans. Gas exchange surfaces fundamental requirements of respiration. Key substances needed: glucose, obtained from diet or photosynthesis. Second is oxygen, from air or water we can acquire it. Now waste products, carbon dioxide, which must be removed. Characteristics of efficient gas exchange surfaces. Essential features includes thin membranes for rapid gas diffusion, large surface area maximizing gas exchange, proximity to efficient transport system, excellent oxygen supply. Human breathing system. Now respiratory anatomy. Primary structure, lungs filled with tiny air spaces called alveoli, trachea, windpipe, bronchi and bronchioles, and diaphragm. Nose and mouth functions, air entry points. Nasal hairs traps dust particles. Specialized cells include goblet cells, produce mucus, ciliated cells with hair-like projections. Next we have protective mechanism. Mucus traps bacteria and dust. Cilia sweeps contaminants away. Alright, now respiratory pathway. Air enters through nose, mouth, passes through larynx, is a voice box, enters trachea with cartilage rings, splits into bronchi, branches into bronchioles, and then reaches alveoli. Alveoli gas exchange epicenter. Structural characteristics include ultra thin walls, 1 cell thick, massive surface area over 100 meter square, capillary network closely wrapped around alveoli, enables oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange. We have gas exchange mechanism, oxygen diffusion from alveoli into blood, carbon dioxide removal from blood into alveoli. We have breathing mechanics. which includes ventilation process, thorax volume changes, intercostal muscles between ribs, diaphragm muscles movement. Inhalation increases thorax volume, exhalation decreases thorax volume. Now, inspired versus expired air composition. Component oxygen, inspired air is 21%, expired is 16%. Carbon dioxide, inspired air is 0.04% and expired one is 4%. Water vapor is variable in inspired air and is usually high in expired air. Key observation: oxygen decreases due to cellular respiration. Carbon dioxide increases from metabolic processes. Experimental investigation: lime water test for carbon dioxide. Apparatus required: glass tubes, rubber tubing, and lime water. Purpose is compare carbon dioxide in inspired and expired air. Safety precautions include wear safety goggles, use clean tubing, and avoid sucking lime water. Potential health implications include smoking related risk, emphysema, alveoli wall breakdown, reduces gas exchange efficiency, and potential exercise limitation. With this, we have finished our chapter number 11. See you in chapter number 12.